everybody. Welcome back. You are watching the Now for Life Members Summit. Yes, you're watching it once a week. We want you to see everybody and enjoy and all that good stuff. So, coming up next, the woman I call my kid. That's right, the kid is in the house. She co hosted with me for International Women's Day. I love the fact that she supports us so much. And she was our first ever philanthropist of the year for the Now Honors. That's right, Michelle Jewsbury is here. What's happening, Michelle?
What's up, Tigo? Super excited to be here. Whenever you ask, I always say yes.
And
And I
I
think
appreciate it.
I think everybody in your circle feels the same way because we just love you so much. You
And
and
I
your
love
team, and I know
y'all.
Alan's back there working. So,
Yeah, he's back there working and running the clock because you know how he is. When he hits the minute mark, he wants to just cut us off. He
oh
can be
yeah,
rude
I
like that.
got it.
You know,
I
you know how
totally
he goes.
understand. Yeah.
So there's all these books behind you, and as you know,
Yeah.
I've got 3 books I got to get out. There's all these books behind you. You came in and you taught, how to become a #1 bestseller on Amazon about a month or so ago with
Yeah.
the group, and I thank you so much for that. But now a little birdie tells me you're publishing. You're
Yeah.
publishing.
Yes, I am publishing now. So I am not a publisher, but I help
Okay.
you to publish. So
Okay.
there's a couple of different options that you can work with us on. One is a book collaboration called Breaking the Silence Voices of Survivors. That one is specifically about helping um, you kind of dip your toe in the water. Like that's only 10 pages, 4,000 words, a lot less stress than publishing your full length book. But then there is that full length book process. So within 90 days, we can get you as a published author. Within the 6 months, we would pitch you to publishers and literary agents, be able to provide weekly support to you, the editing process, all of that, so that we can publish you and get you on the Amazon bestseller list and also pitched to other publishers and literary agents for even more marketing. And then there, of course, is the do it for you option, but that's something that we can talk about later.
Wow. Okay. What made you decide to make that gear shift and go that way?
So what's interesting is I've been teaching something called Legacy Camp for, I want to say, a couple of years now. And in Legacy Camp, we specifically teach you how to publish. So running a bestseller campaign is a module of Legacy Camp. However, we also teach you to speak on stages and create courses of your own. But there's been a lot of people asking, how do I publish? How do I run bestseller campaign? What if I just
Yeah.
want to publish my book? So why not say yes to the masses? So that's what just happened. Everybody's
So that's why
asking
she's my
about it.
kid.
Why not do it? So now we're going to do it, and I'm going to listen to the customers and the clients and my friends, and we're going to help people publish their books because your story matters.
So let me ask you, I'm gonna, me, I always throw you in the deep end.
Oh God.
You guys say I voluntold you. So let me ask you, I've talked to a couple of people that have been on the members summit, right?
Mhm.
And we're talking about doing some workshops, maybe an hour, a little over, something like that, for the members that you can go deep and talk. Because when we do these interviews, it's great, but you only go 10 minutes, 15 minutes in. You don't really teach that in
Mhm.
that time. You want to do a workshop for the members for publishing?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are watching this, and she is literally voluntelling us without having to voluntold us. I love it. Of course, I would do that for the members. Teach some strategies and tips on how to run the bestseller campaign, how to actually get yourself published, and if you want to pitch to publishers and literary agents, what that looks like. So, a pitch package is roughly 30 pages, and you want that query letter put together so you can actually pitch. So I would be willing, Tigo, to drop some nuggets for this group only.
You are so amazing. And you love it when I voluntold you. You
I
complain,
do,
but you
I
love it
don't
when I
complain.
voluntold you. You know you do.
If I
But with
really complained, then this would not happen. But I love
I
you.
know. We would have a blank screen right now with a little warning signal from Alan. The guest has now left the room. I get it. I understand. But I got to ask you, people talk to me and they say, Tigo, where do you find time? Oh my gosh, you do this, you do that. Where do you find time? You're an award winning speaker. Okay. You own and have founded a very cool nonprofit. We're going to get into that in just a second. Now you're doing all this publishing and you're an author and all that stuff for yourself. Where do you find the time? Oh, and a new home buyer. Where
Oh
do you
yeah,
find the time?
and a new home buyer. I schedule it out. So I've always been really good at time management. And when I was younger, I was one of the first people to actually have an electronic calendar because I would schedule out my assignments. I did very well in school, although I didn't like school very much. But that has then translated into me being really great with time management now as an adult. So I schedule
Mm.
out the things that need to be done. And it's not necessarily writing out a list, it's literally time blocking what you need. So that means between 2 and 4, I'll work on publishing Tigo's book and editing
Not,
that chapter. You like that?
I,
And
I,
uh, 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 and then between 4 to 6 I will have sales calls. So I right now am doing my own sales calls as well because we just hired a new marketing team with cold email, so they want me to do all the sales calls so that I can teach the closers that come in to do that as well.
yeah.
So I'm time blocking everything out, and I'm so happy that I'm good with that. But I also get to teach other people how to be great with time management as well.
I think I just got voluntold myself.
You kind of
I
did.
felt it go by. I felt it. I can
Mhm.
see Cindy in the background in the virtual green room. She's doing this.
Yeah,
She's like,
somebody's
"Yep, you
gonna
did. You
publish
got
their
voluntold."
book. Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's shift gears, right? Go to your baby,
Okay.
your passion, and that is your nonprofit, UnSilenced Voices. How's it going? What's going on? And what's the next steps?
Yeah. So, what's really amazing is somebody came to me and said, "Hey, I want to donate, and I want to donate time and money." This doesn't happen like this typically, but I'm going to tell you the reason it did is branding and PR. So, getting yourself out there and getting massive exposure. And I know Cindy's in the green room right now, and she's excellent at doing this, but really being able to market yourself super well, whether it's a business or a nonprofit or just you personally as, say, an influencer. But we
Hmm.
started to market, and I started to open my mouth. And as Tigo knows, I talk a lot about Unsilenced Voices. So I was interviewed on Success Magazine, and she ended up reading about
Nice.
me in Success Magazine, reached out and said, "Hey, we're going to drop 10 grand for your nonprofit, 7,500 cash, 2,500 in PR and marketing. Will you take it?" And I'm like, "What's the catch?" And she's like, "None." So that's something really awesome that just happened. I want to say less than a week ago. By the time of this
Wow.
recording, it's probably a couple months ago now. But we really desperately need even more exposure to bring in donors. See, donors is like pulling teeth. Fundraising for any nonprofit is roughly 80% of the nonprofit. And I say
Hmm.
that we still are doing our services, but in order to keep the services going, you have to have funding. So that's what we're focusing on right now is figuring out how to bring in more funding so that we can build a vocational training center with housing in Sierra Leone.
So let me ask you, because I used to be an administrative director for a nonprofit, and
Mhm.
I've worked as a creative director in so many different things for nonprofits over the years. And a lot of people, I mean, you hear the horror stories, right, on the internet, on TV, about nonprofits that weren't real. And so it makes people kind of get gun shy,
Mhm.
my military's showing, get gun shy about supporting a nonprofit. So why should they support you? And what happens when they donate? Like if somebody says today, I'm going to donate $500 to Unsilenced Voices, what happens to the $500?
Yeah, exactly. And you are right. Unfortunately, nonprofits give other real nonprofits a bad name. It's just
Yep.
like, for example, the Me Too movement, when it swung too far one direction and there were people coming out and lying about things that happened, it gave the real survivors and victims a bad taste in their mouth. And unfortunately, we didn't receive what it was that we needed. So,
Hmm.
with the nonprofit, I'm currently not taking a salary because we don't have enough funding coming in. And those girls mean a hell of a lot more to me than me actually making money from the nonprofit. I've never taken more than $2,000 a month. And that was when we were a medium sized 6-figure nonprofit. Now, 100% of everything that you donate goes directly to those girls. And when I say those girls, we're actually supporting 26 girls in vocational training, which is called Matilda's program. We have roughly 60 or 70 girls on a wait list wanting to go through this program with us. And then we have 2 villages that we support through savings box programs, agricultural programs, sex education programs, malnutrition programs. So there's a lot that we do comprehensively and boots on the ground. So Tigo knows this. Many of you
Yeah, I
know
do.
this, but I
I
travel.
absolutely
I
do.
go to Sierra Leone. I travel a lot. I am boots on the ground. We actually filmed a TV show called The Fixers, and we are episode 2, season 4. And we built a cassava processing facility for one of the villages that we support. I didn't have to go. I wanted to be boots on the ground. So that's what I did. How do we only have 2 minutes left? Alan,
It
not
flies. I
fair.
told you. It flies. It
Oh my gosh.
absolutely flies. So, when are you going back? Are you going back? And
Mhm.
with everything going on, we're not going to talk about politics. We'll be here all day.
Yeah.
But with everything going on in the markets and all of that, how does that affect your international travel, if it does
So
at all?
so I'm just going to drop one thing political. No matter
Okay.
where you voted, unfortunately, Trump has put Sierra Leone on an orange list for travel. So
Oh,
what that
wow.
means is that anybody from that country can't come here. But we
Hmm.
don't really understand yet what that means for us to travel there. We have been planning a trip to go in October or November of 2025, so this year. Um, but we are unsure based upon what's happening, how that's going to happen logistically.
Wow. Keep us posted because I didn't know they were on the orange list.
Yeah.
Um,
And I
I
don't know why. I
wow.
think it's because the port in Freetown.
Yeah, probably, probably. How do before he cuts us off, because you and I could talk all day,
Yes, we
how
can.
do people find you? How do they support Unsilenced Voices? All that good stuff.
Yep. So one stop shop. Go to michellejewsbury.com. It is right there. If you are watching this, if you are listening, it's Michelle, Michelle. Jewsbury is spelled JEWSBURY.com. You can get information about Unsilenced Voices there. You can get information about how you too can share your story and publish your book, be a part of a collaboration, or create courses and content, or speak on stages all around the world.
You're the best. I love you. You already know
I
you're one
love
of
you
my
too,
kids.
Tigo.
And I'm sure I'll reach out in a week or so and Valen told you we got to do something else.
Yeah,
It just
that's
happened.
okay. I love that. And I'm going to volunteer you right now to publish that book.
Yes, I'm going to get it done. The book is done. It's ready. It's being
We'll
laid
be
out right now.
talking.
So
Yeah,
we
perfect.
will
That's
talk.
awesome.
You are awesome. All right, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this episode. You know what to do. If you are driving, don't write me or call me. Keep your hands at 10 and 2. And just go to tigodirect.com. Type in Michelle, type in Jewsbury. She's coming up. Type in Unsilenced Voices. Reach out to her and say, hey, I saw you on the Member Summit. I want to know whatever the heck it is you want to know. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You know I want you to come back next time. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.